The following presentation is an AI-free production, 100% researched, written, and edited by actual human beings. All mistakes are purely human error, guaranteed.
Hello, dig for bone.
I don't think anyone knows that I'm the one cut off your toes and put them in the drawer with the sock.
Hello, and welcome to the Least Haunted Podcast, a place where science, skepticism, humor, and anthropology meet to discuss all things spooky, haunting, supernatural, and sometimes just the plain ridiculous. I'm your host, Cody Franks, and joining me as almost always is hangry hamster handler who heeds howling horticultural home cooking, hastening home, heroically helping hilarious holy hairstylists who hallucinate hospitable Hodag hordes.
Ooh, wow. I don't think we've done an H yet. My name's Garth, by the way. I'm the co-host at the moment of this Least Haunted Podcast. Thank you very much for that one.
Yeah, we haven't really done
an H alliterative.
Yeah, that came from our Discord, and this time it was from Rain Zacket.
Thanks, Rain Zacket.
With an assist from New Jared. Originally, there was something about hamburgers in there. I'm like, well, Garth's a vegetarian, and it's too much to explain that it could be any other kind of hamburger, so they just switched out for home cooking.
That works. So for any of you who've never heard the podcast before, we do that every beginning of episode, just to introduce me. And so
called Garth's Moniker. If you want to
yes.
create a Garth's Moniker, an alliterative moniker, you can join our Discord. There's a link in the show notes below, and there's a tab for that. And Garth stays out because he's not allowed.
Garth's not allowed in there.
I think I can actually ban you from that channel.
Please do it.
But I'm not sure if I can because I think you're still a moderator.
In
Anyway.
any case, the reason I brought that up is because we seem to be having more fans lately. So a lot of people might be hearing the show for the first time. This could be their first episode.
Welcome, new listeners.
Yeah.
It's going to get real confusing because, well, you'll see.
I try to pretend that for every episode, there's someone who's hearing it for the first time. I don't want it to be completely in jokes. Then there's no way they can get in.
Yeah.
But there will be a lot of in jokes. Anyway, welcome to the Least Haunted Podcast. We're going to be talking about a topic that is not all that haunted, but might be.
And it's been a while since we've recorded. Almost a month, Garth.
Cody and I are super rusty, if you can't tell already.
And in that time, I have traveled far, Garth.
You have.
Members of the Discord and the Patreon know that I've been on a very long trip through the Pacific Northwest, finding myself, recharging. Touch grass. I fucked grass. I am ready to go.
Oh, you're glowing. I can tell you've been on a vacation.
It's also the beard balm. It's nice.
That's
and
what it is. Yeah, Cody's beard is noticeably longer.
And along that trip, I ended up in the town that...
What does that sound?
That sounds like a toilet float that is running water. It just stopped. So...
Problem solved. Continue.
Okay, all right.
You were on a road trip.
So, along that trip, I accidentally ended up in the town that Twilight takes place in and was filmed in.
Forks.
Yeah, I had no idea, but I
yeah.
ended up in Forks, and where I actually ended up staying was just beyond the treaty line. It had a big thing that said, no vampires past this point, because I stayed on the res. So
right on.
Yeah, so I was in werewolf territory, apparently. Didn't know any of that when I got there. I was very fucking confused.
That's beautiful up there, the rainforest of the Olympic National Park. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, I got to say a caveat that, like, although I still don't believe in Sasquatch or Bigfoot as a physical being, beyond being a cultural icon and cultural belief, if there was going to be anywhere where it could hide, yeah, Olympic Peninsula. Yeah, probably. That's some primeval fucking dark
It's very
forest.
primeval, isn't it? Yes. Oh, yeah.
But anyway, the town of Forks we drove through, way more Trump supporters and flags than you would think in a town that has now made Twilight as part of its cultural
identity. I was
identity.
just thinking, I wonder if that's a backlash to the Twilight thing.
I don't know. They seem still, they're all making money off the Twilight thing. So now the vampires don't just sparkle, Garth, they also goose step.
Oh, no.
So anyway, over 16 days, Allison and I drove over 3,000 miles, visited 4 national parks, 1 national monument, traversed 6 different islands, 3 different ferry trips.
Oh, ferry trips, not
yes.
ferry trips.
Yeah, I didn't see any ferries.
Okay.
but I did see fairies. We passed through 3 states and their capital cities, attained almost 12,000 feet in elevation, and then dropped down to sea level in a single day.
Ooh.
And while we were at sea level, we left that area just like hours before there was a tsunami warning.
I saw that warning and I was texting Cody. I was like, dude, are you near the coast right now?
Earlier that day, we had been on the beach of La Push.
Nice.
Where was I going with all this? So it was a wild, crazy trip.
Yes.
But that stupid Twilight thing in Forks got me thinking about rural towns that used to be known for logging that have since made some piece of pop culture or a local legend into their whole thing. Did you know that before Twilight, Forks was known as one of the Sasquatch capitals of the world?
I did not know that. I mean, one of like hundreds, right?
And in the town they have the official Sasquatch store, but now half the store is also Twilight, so it's Sasquatch Twilight.
Did the Sasquatch ever appear in the Twilight series? I never read Twilight.
I don't fucking care.
I feel like you could do that.
Today we're talking about the Hodag of Rhinelander, Wisconsin.
Okay, so this is another situation where a small town did this whole thing. Okay, okay.
Wisconsin was not one of the states that we visited, by the way. But this episode actually has a dedication to one of our Discord members, the aforementioned Rain Zacket, who lives in Wisconsin. And if I remember correctly, they had actually recommended this to me as a topic a long time ago.
Oh, right on. Thanks, Rain
Zacket.
Zacket.
So this goes out to Rain Zacket. Thanks for the topic, and thanks for the moniker. So, the Hodag. Hodag. It's really fun to say. Hodag.
Well, you can say it with that accent.
You can say Hodag, Hodag.
Hodag.
Why is it that Hodags always come in a pack of 8, but Hodag buns are in a pack of 6? I don't know.
Conspiracy, man.
So the Hodag is one of the many fearsome creatures of the Lumberwoods, or at least one of those fantastic beasts.
Oh, is it in the book? The creatures of the Lumberwoods?
It's one of those fantastic beasts that were said to stalk the wilds of America's pristine forests, and who the tall tales of such were shared around. God damn it, that still sounds weird.
And of whom the
tales of such
were told. And of whom the tales were once told of such.
And who the tales of such were shared around the logging.
Of such the tales were once of told.
No, I got a whole thing here. God damn it. And who the tales of such were shared around the logging camp wood fires or flapjack tables or whatever the logging camp version of a water cooler was. I'm assuming, I don't know, coffee carafe, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, seeing as this is a logging tale, I think it's best to have our favorite old-time prospector, Lucky Johnson, tell the story of this in his classic homespun style.
All right, Lucky. We haven't seen Lucky in a hot minute here. Here's Lucky. Oh, hey, Lucky. Welcome on in, buddy. You can set your gold panning for gold pan down there. That's fine. Yeah, pull up a seat.
Well, howdy, y'all. It's me, Lucky Johnson, here to tell you the terrifying tale of the Hodag, or at least tell it as I remember it happening at the time, way back in 1893.
1893? How old are you?
How old am I? How old is the wind, Garth? How old is the Rocky Mountains? Hell, how old is the imagination? I don't rightly know the answer because I'm too damn old.
Fair enough, Lucky.
Anyway, I'll just tell the story, and then I'm sure old Cody will spend about 45 minutes to an hour tearing it apart. You don't know that. I mean, well, yeah, sort of. But I promise you, you'll be surprised at the end. Can I get on with it?
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Get on with it.
Where was I? Oh, yeah, 1893, Rhinelander, Wisconsin. A fella by the name of Eugene Shepard, or Gene to his friends, was out hunting and prospecting timber stands.
Timber stands?
Timber stands, Garth. It's a natural resource. That's what we call it. It's the logging term for forest. Pristine virgin woodland that is just waiting to be, taken advantage of by capitalism.
You look at trees and all you see is money.
Money. Gene Shepard was out in the woods when he smelled something ungodly on the breeze. A smell that would gag a maggot, as they say.
Oh,
the
boy.
Kind of stink that peels paint off the walls and what makes milk sour when it's still up in the udder. like a skunk that went out for fourth meal after drinking heavy all night, and now he's got a tummy problem. You understand?
Yeah.
Capital S stench.
Okay. I think you're painting a vivid picture here, Lucky. I got you.
So anyway, Gene was out looking at lumber stands because one of the many things and talents this feller had was that he was scouting. He was an excellent surveyor of the Wisconsin area. It was still pretty wild, rough, and tumble at the time, you see. So like I said, he smells this powerful stench on the breeze blowing towards him. He creeps closer. I don't know why the hell you'd want to do that. I usually move away from things that smell bad, but to each their own. He goes over, and through the bushes, he sees it. A fearsome creature.
Oh.
Of the lumberwoods.
Oh, okay. Yes. How did he describe it, Lucky?
Well, descriptions of this beast vary depending on who you ask. According to Gene Shepard, who, as luck would have it, had a camera and took a photograph of it, although I've never seen the picture and I couldn't find the picture and no one seems to have seen this picture.
All right.
Funny that. This beast, it was about 7 feet long. It was a black skin, maybe some patches of fur. It had 12 ridge-like spikes like a dinosaur that ran down its spine, and its long whippy tail had one deadly spike at the end of it.
Like a stegosaurus?
4 stumpy legs that held it off the ground, and each of those legs was covered in a number of razor-sharp claws.
Whoa.
Now, some say its head was that like a frog, very wide, big mouth, and it had the face of an elephant, but not the trunk, mind you, the face of an elephant.
I'm trying to imagine an elephant's face without the trunk.
And then 2 mighty bull-like horns that came off the top of its head.
Wow. Damn.
He took a picture, and then he skedaddled out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But it got him to thinking, this creature, other people got to know about it, and maybe we can do something about it, catch it, I don't know.
This was the 1800s, so he took a long picture.
Yes, 1893.
Just imagining, snap.
We probably
Hold
had
still.
the camera so that he could document the lumber so that when he went to the
I
loggers...
I was just imagining it being a very long exposure and the creature has to hold still. Sorry, continue, Lucky.
Thank you. He goes to a local lumber camp where he knows all the guys, and he tells them about what he had seen, and he gets a bunch of them together to go back out and try to capture this beast. They track it down to an old abandoned iron mine. I don't know if you know this, but the Great Lakes area, lots of iron as well as trees. They go there, and according to which version of the story, but this is my version, so I'm going to tell it how I want to tell it.
Yes.
They knew they couldn't just go into the mouth of this mine and confront the beast, so they used dynamite to blast a hole into the side of the mountain so that they can then reach in with a long bamboo pole. Bamboo, a very rare thing in northern Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I would have used birch. I'm sure there's a lot of birch or pine. But anyway, they used the bamboo, and at the end of that bamboo, there's a sponge. And on that sponge, they had soaked it in chloroform.
Oh, I see. So rather than go in the front door, they explode a new hole so they can sneakily get some chloroform in on the side, and the beast will be none the wiser.
Yeah, so they chloroform the beast, and they then go in and get it, and they drag it out, and they bring it back to Gene's house, where he had dug a big old pit in which they lowered the beast, and they could keep it alive.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Now, this creature is the fearsome Hodag. I don't know why they call it Hodag, and I couldn't find a good reason. I have a theory. You wait your turn. Fine. Anyway, it becomes a local sensation. The newspapers start reporting about the fearsome beast that was found up in Rhinelander. Now, for the record, Rhinelander is up in northern Wisconsin, and it's very rural and hard to get to, at least at this point in time. Mostly just logging. Lots of logging.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a few years go by. There's some missing parts of the story here.
Mm-hmm.
But in 1896, Gene Shepard brings the Hodag Oneida County Fair to show to people for a nickel. You pay a nickel, you go into the tent, you can see the Hodag.
Wow. It's still alive?
Yeah, it's alive. It moves a little. It roars. You see it in
Wow.
the dark. Yeah. Now, whatever became of that Hodag, I can't rightly say. I can. Shut up!
Continue, please.
But over the years, lots of facts had been thrown in about the Hodag, things that were ascertained through its captivity and that we now know to be 100% genuine factual.
Uh-huh.
For example, the Hodag subsists primarily on a diet of all white bulldogs.
White bulldogs.
White bulldogs.
Oh, those are pretty rare.
But only on Sundays.
Wait a minute.
However, it still will eat anything else it wants to,
Oh, okay.
including, human beings, but white bulldogs, that's its
That's
favorite
preference. Yeah, I got you.
food. Yeah. Some say that you can defeat a Hodag instantaneously with the use of lemon juice.
Oh.
Well, I thought chloroform seemed like a pretty good one. I don't know why they didn't just use lemon juice.
Well, they didn't know that at the time.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Its tears apparently can make the sweetest lemonade, but it never cries. But then other people say it's always crying because it's aware of how gosh darn ugly it is, and that makes it sad.
Aw.
Let's see, what else about the Hodag? It lays eggs.
Well, it is a dinosaur, it sounds like, so that makes sense.
That is actually one of the things that Gene Shepard said. He said that it might be a combination of a Mylodon and some other kind of dinosaur, or even some kind of, mammoth.
Well, I mean, it sounds like the Jurassic Park thing with the frog DNA because it's got a frog head.
It doesn't work that way.
Oh, the mammoth? No? You can't crossbreed species like that?
Yeah. We already talked about that in our Chimera episode.
I know, I was playing along.
There's different names for the beast. Some call it Bovinus spiritualis, and that's on account of, get this, Garth, apparently a Hodag can be created through black magic fuckery. By which I mean animal cruelty. And that is that in the logging camps, if somebody was particularly mean to an old ox that worked in the camp and mistreated it and beat it, and then when it died, they burned it for some reason and treated it disrespectful life, a Hodag would be formed as a vengeful spirit, like so much logging camp themed The Grudge.
Wow. Oh, I like that story.
Now, according to our favorite book here, The Fearsome Creature of the Lumberwoods, they got a different explanation for the Hodag, and here they call it Nosabatilis hystivirogratis.
Oh, okay. Let's hear that one.
And then after I read this here a few paragraphs, I'll turn it back over to Cody so he can spoil the fun.
All right.
I resent that. The Hodag, Nosabatilis Latin, made up Latin.
Notabilis latinus.
This animal has been variously described by woodsmen from Wisconsin and Minnesota. Opinions differ greatly as to the appearance of the beast, some claiming it to be covered with horns and spines and having a maniacal disposition. The description, which seems most authentic and from which the sketch of the animal has been made, is as follows. Size about that of a rhinoceros and somewhat resembling that animal in general makeup. The creature is slow in motion, deliberate, and unlike the rhinoceros, very intelligent.
Oh,
Shots
okay.
fired at the rhino.
Yeah, really? Well, come on, man. What's wrong with the rhinoceros?
Its hairless body is mottled, striped, and checked in a striking manner, suggestive of the origin of the patterns upon Mackinaw clothing, now used in the lumberwoods. On the Hodag's nose, instead of a horn, there's a large spade-shaped bony growth with peculiar phalanges extending up in front of the eye so that he can only see straight up. This probably accounts for the deliberate disposition of the animal, which wanders through the spruce woods looking for suitable food. About the only living creature which the Hodag can catch is the porcupine. Indeed, it would appear that the porcupine is its natural food. Upon sighting one rolled up in the branches of a spruce, the Hodag begins to blink his eyes, lick his chops, and spade around the tree, cutting all the roots until the tree begins to totter. He then backs off and with a rush rams his shovel nose under the roots, and over goes the tree, knocking the breath out of the porcupine in its fall. The Hodag then straddles the fallen tree, follows it out to the top where the huge pointed hooves of its front feet crush the helpless porcupine, and then deliberately swallows him head first.
Oh my gosh.
In the autumn, the Hodag strips the bark off a number of spruce or pine trees and covers himself all over with pitch. He then searches out a patch of hardwood timber where dead leaves lie thick on the ground. Here he rolls about until completely encased in a thick, warm mantle of leaves, in which condition he spends the winter.
Ah, okay.
Now, none of that jives or lines up with Gene Shepard's description of
Not
the
at
Hodag.
all. No, not at all.
Well, like I said, and it says so itself, accounts vary. What do you want from me? Fair enough. All right, well, Lucky, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Lucky. That was fantastic. I got a really good idea of what this creature is, and then a bunch of other things too.
Yeah, so now that you've told us thank you, you can go now.
Aw, do you want to stay, Lucky?
No, I got plenty of stuff to do. I got, stuff to prospect and poke at and wonder about and, tall tales to tell.
I've heard there's some good gold panning down in the creek here if you want. Go on and check that out. Maybe you'll find something.
Dog, away I go. There he goes.
Oh,
he's
he
climbing
jumped out the window. Dude, there's a door.
Whatever.
Oh.
All right, so now you just heard the story of the Hodag from Lucky. And now, like he said, I guess I'm here to kill all the fun.
Yeah, so now so if, hold on, let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the rest of the podcast will be just ripping that apart.
Yes and no. You'll be surprised.
Well, I'm curious. What I took away from this is, at least in that description from the book, I wonder if there is evidence of a Hodag from ripped up roots in trees, and people are like, "Oh, that was the Hodag."
Yeah, that might be trees have fallen over from the wind.
And so often with these, these mythic creatures, they are there to explain a thing that you see in nature. Like, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was the Hodag that did that. So I wonder what else it could be.
So, maybe it's nothing at all.
Oh, well, that's always possible. I'm stretching for all right, what is this? Where did this come from?
So there are pictures of the Hodag from the time.
Photos.
Actual photos. There's a very famous photo of a group of men standing around the captured Hodag.
Ooh, can you send this to me? I'd like to see it. Or let me know how I can get to it. Should I just look up Hodag?
Yeah. And there appears to be a child on the ground in front of the beast.
Okay.
So they're staging a picture of it having attacked this kid. But that is claimed to be the actual Hodag that was shown off by Eugene Shepard. So Eugene Shepard, he is a real character.
Well, this one you just described, everyone looks like they're dressed up like Charlie Chaplin. They all have the hat and the mustache.
Well, it's 1893.
Yeah, I guess
Garth.
that's how everybody dressed, and they're all holding up their pitchforks and axes over this monster. And there's a kid who's laying down in front of it, swooning. The monster looks kind of like a pig with horns and then spined back. Yeah, it looks sort of like it was described.
If you zoom in, it doesn't have fangs. It has flat teeth all the way around.
Yeah, that's weird.
Weird people teeth.
But I've heard 3 descriptions now that are vastly different. So
yeah,
okay.
So as I was saying, Eugene Shepard, he actually was a very well-renowned surveyor. His surveying skills of the woods of northern Wisconsin, Minnesota, and into Michigan was well regarded. He would draw maps that he would sell of the area, very detailed, topographical maps. He would sell them through the mail for $1 for people who wanted to buy land out there. And for an extra charge, he would go in and he would shade in your property on there and would also tell you what's on there and what's the good stuff that you can get.
Wow, I never thought about back in the day when people were homesteading and you'd go from the East Coast and I'm going out west. I'm going to buy some property. How would you even know
sight
the
unseen.
edges?
Yeah.
And you had to have a surveyor show you, this is.
And there was no
it.
Zillow or any shit like that where you could look up where you were going, the property. No, you had to rely on somebody who was there to relate back to you. Here it is. So that's one of the things that he did. He also ran a resort for a while that had good fishing, air quotes.
Oh, okay.
I'll address why I put air quotes on good fishing, and it'll become evident pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that he was well known for was a teller of tall tales, big fish stories, little witticisms.
He would have got along with Lucky.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, you ever hear of a fella named Paul Bunyan?
Hey, Paul. I'm coming, boys. Paul Bunyan. Paul Bunyan. He's 63, axe handles high with his feet on the
I've heard of this Paul Bunyan. We have not covered Paul Bunyan yet.
We've met him once.
But we did meet him one time.
Yes. A lot of the early Paul Bunyan stories came from Jean Shepherd.
Oh, wow.
There was a book that was written that
Okay.
was a collection of tales of Paul Bunyan. Jean Shepherd collaborated on that book and provided the illustrations because you'll love this, Garth. He's also an excellent illustrator.
Wow. So we are going to meet him again once we
Yes.
do Paul Bunyan. Oh, that's fantastic.
He,
Cool.
I was able to find online articles about him after he had died. He died in 1923, I think it was, at the age of 69. And a thing a lot of people brought up was that he was constantly drawing, sketching, illustrating. Any letter that he sent to anybody had doodles on it.
Cool.
And so you could see why this artistic mind would come up with this picture of the Hodag,
Sure.
is the way he described it, because he drew it.
Oh, I'd be interested to see his drawings. Okay. Gene Shepherd?
Eugene Shepherd.
Eugene Shepherd.
Not to be confused with Gene Shepherd of A Christmas Story fame.
Okay.
Over the years, I got to be quite a connoisseur of soap. My personal preference is for Lux, but I found Palmolive had a nice, piquant after-dinner flavor, heady, but with just a touch of mellow smoothness.
Different guy, different state, different time, but also a teller of tall tales. So these two guys, it was kind of weird. Like, they both have the same name and they both are kind of similar in the sense that they tell these, like, they're raconteurs, as you would say, you know, somebody that tells a tale.
Oh, I love this one that Gene drew of the Hodag.
Yes, that's like the original Hodag.
Okay, so this one is a pen and ink, looks like a monster, scaly, spines on the back, sharp claws, goofy looking face, big old mouth,
Yeah.
horns. Yeah.
Now, around this time, the Bone Wars had just happened, if like a decade before, around
Oh,
this time.
yeah, the Bone Wars.
So Stegosaurus was around, and that's why he says it had spines on its back like a dinosaur.
This has Stegosaurus-y vibes for sure.
I mean, the spines are actually more like spikes that you would find on a Triceratops.
Mm.
But this idea of a creature having spines along its back is something that he actually says in the original description. They say, oh, like a dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in 1893, he announces to everybody the story of the Hodag in the form of a newspaper article that he sends to the local Rhinelander newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
It gets some traction. It becomes a novelty thing. It gets repeated in other newspapers because, as we also have talked about, the newspaper used to like copy everybody's stories. Like,
yeah.
It's very similar to the Beast of Gévaudan, in which I talked about the French newspapers all just stealing from each other.
Oh, yeah, that was really common. I remember us talking about that
Yeah,
before,
and just republishing things. So the story spreads pretty far and wide. Jump ahead to 1896.
Mm-hmm.
The Oneida County Fair. So Rhinelander, a lot of German immigrants,
Mm-hmm.
hence the name Rhinelander, like the Rhineland of Germany.
Oh, okay.
But the county is named after the Oneida tribe of northern New York.
Huh, okay. In New York.
Yeah,
That's
because
funny.
there is, as we're going to talk about, there is a First Nation in Rhinelander in that area.
Did they move to there from New York?
No,
They weren't displaced.
there's a different
or
group there
something?
completely. They
Oh.
just named the county after a different tribe because fuck you colonialism. That's why.
Just random.
Yes.
Well, it's funny. There are a lot of Native American names for towns back in the Midwest. Just like there's all the towns around here are Spanish in
Yeah.
California.
But also some of them are indigenous.
But like, yeah, that's true. We have some
SoCal.
indigenous. That's true. Yeah.
SoCal, I think Aptos.
But yeah, like Milwaukee, Oconomowoc, Wanakee.
It's Milwaukee.
In fact, isn't Milwaukee an Indian name?
Yes, Pete, it is. Actually, it's pronounced Miliwake, which is Algonquin for the good land.
I was not aware of that.
Milwaukee, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And I will explain, I'll get into more of the Native American indigenous person connection. 'cause
So it
there
was
is one.
the Oneida County Fair.
Oneida County Fair, 1896. He starts showing off the Hodag to people who want to come and see it for a nickel. He previously was showing it off at his home in a darkened little pit. He built a shed around the pit. People would come look at it, and it would move a little and it would roar. Same kind of deal at the county fair.
Okay.
A very sideshow Barker type
Yeah,
thing. Like,
yeah.
hey, come on in. Let me tell you about the story of the Hodag and how I encountered this beast and caught it. There's a version where the Hodag he captured was actually the second Hodag, and the first one that they blew it up with dynamite. That's where dynamite enters into the story.
Oh, okay.
But I've read dozens of accounts of the Hodag story, all purporting to be like the original, and there's various different details that get changed around.
Okay.
And that's one of them. The
Classic
dynamite.
legend.
Yeah, which is like one is, does it have hair? Does it? Some say it has black skin. Modern times it's depicted as being green. That picture, the original picture, it looks hairless and black. Some people say that's
around the head looks a little hairy.
And people say, well, that reason it's got the black skin is actually because it's singed from getting blown up by dynamite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very much like a cartoon.
Oh yeah, very cartoony.
Very Wile E. Coyote.
So he successfully shows it off at the county fair, gets a lot of press. Word travels.
Wow.
All the way to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
in the Smithsonian Institute.
They're not taking this seriously,
who announced that they are
they?
going to come to Rhinelander
Really?
to investigate and see this amazing new creature.
Oh boy, that's the big times. You better.
And that's where the story falls apart.
Okay. Yeah, once the Smithsonian gets involved.
Yes. So the question of whether or not the locals ever actually believed in Gene Shepherd's story, I mean, they knew him as the local guy that tells tall tales. That's up to debate. But the fact that supposedly the Smithsonian is interested enough to come check it out, and he realizes, oh shit, I'm in the soup now.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, hold on, everybody. It's a hoax. This was a prank.
Wow. See, I figured he would say, oh, the Hodag escaped last night.
No, he
Save
just
face?
fesses up that
No?
it's all a prank that was done
Wow.
in good fun, and for nickels. And
Sure, and good fun.
so that what you were seeing in the picture, he made that out of, it's a wooden sculpture covered in ox hide and leather, like basically like rawhide that had been dried up and singed, bull horns. It's just a hodgepodge of stuff he threw together.
And it was kind of a puppet. You said it moved a little, right?
So his sons would be behind a curtain pulling strings that would
Nice.
make it move, and they'd be making the sounds.
Okay, that's
Apparently,
where it roars. Okay.
his sons got really like fed up with it and were like, dude, we hate doing this. Like,
We've been doing this for months, Dad.
yeah, Dad. Like,
This
we're
is getting old.
Can we go play in the woods, or do we have to sit here and like help you bilk people with the Hodag? I mentioned that he had a resort that supposedly was good for fishing.
Right.
It wasn't. That was the Hodag was not the first time he used wooden puppets to fool people. Apparently, wooden fish on wires and strings that he could pull, and they would jump out of the water, so that fishermen would think that there were more fish in the lake, and they'd come and spend time there trying to fish.
How would he pull the fish up without them seeing? Wow, how does that work?
You know, at a distance, piano wire. I don't know.
I guess.
I was recently next to a very pristine lake on Mount Rainier. And I was seeing fish jump, and it is like seeing a shooting star.
It is crazy.
Where it's like, you have to look in their place.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, that brings up, I wanted to make a correction.
Oh, okay.
Something that I was very remiss about, and I can't believe I fucked up so bad.
Oh.
When we talked about the flying saucers.
Oh, yeah.
I kept
Mount
referring...
Rainier.
Rainier. Mount Tahoma, or Tacoma, is the indigenous name.
Oh, how did you fuck up?
Because I never brought that up. I kept referring to it as Rainier, which is the colonial name for it.
Oh, well, that was an oversight. You didn't
Yes.
you didn't
But
get a fact wrong, but it's nice to know the indigenous name.
I've done better about that in the past.
Oh, sure.
And especially as the story's gonna go on, I kind of felt bad about it. Okay.
Oh, that's all right. I'm glad you said so now.
So he was no stranger to using wooden puppets and strings to make money. And then at the Oneida.
Let's just stick with one.
Okay. You know, like that cutlery company that was run by a sex cult.
What was that one?
Oneida Cutlery. Go look in your drawer. You probably have a piece of cutlery.
My cutlery is old Japanese.
Okay, then good for you. But yeah, if you don't know, look up Oneida Cutlery. Crazy sex cult started in the 1800s. Free love on a commune.
Knife themed though.
They're
That's
making
scary.
well, they're making forks, spoons, and knives.
Oh,
They
okay.
were forking, they were spooning.
They were
and
spooning,
There
for
was some
sure.
knifing going on.
Oh golly.
And yeah, they like basically
Did they make basters?
they made babies, and apparently they were everybody's child because everybody was fucking everybody.
Oh, right on. That's very kumbaya.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right.
I digress.
Yeah, you do.
I do. You can't just pass up fucking cutlery sex cult like that, you know? Anyway. County fair, make some money.
Make some money. We're sick of this, Dad. We don't want a puppet
do
anymore.
And then he reveals the whole thing because
okay.
the Smithsonian's coming. So how do the locals react?
Oh, they probably.
Oh,
understood it
good.
was
Yeah,
all
they
in
kind of
good
laugh
fun.
about it. Yeah,
I
it's all
doubt
in good
they
fun.
like got out
Yeah.
the pitchforks or
Yeah.
anything.
So it's all okay.
It's like we knew it was a fake dude.
Yeah, right. And then it kind of like fades out for a while. And then it comes back into vogue in the 20th century.
Why do these things come back? All right. So
Turns out,
yeah.
spoiler, economics.
Well, okay, but it was It was busted. He busted it himself. He's like, it was a fake. So where do you go from there?
So he carried on a very lucrative career as tall tale teller.
Mhm.
And try saying that 5 times fast.
Telltale teller. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah. Tall tale teller.
That was like twice fast.
And he writes a bunch of articles, does illustrations, stuff like that. The town kind of moves on. The lumber industry kind of dries up. In fact,
they ran out of trees.
It was actually already drying up in 1893, and that's
Wow.
actually part of why this all happens.
Oh,
I told you, economics.
yeah.
It's always
okay,
capitalism,
that's
baby.
interesting.
Always
yeah.
capitalism. So, sometime in the mid I think it was not until like probably the 1990s, like the Hodag becomes more popular.
Well, as we have seen, the 90s were big for all
Yes.
kinds of cryptids and stuff.
I mean, it never fully went away in Rhinelander. They always had little statues and stuff, but then it like really ramps up. And now in the present, the Hodag is like Rhinelander's whole sense of identity.
Oh, wow. So they've gone all in.
The Hodag is on their town seal. It's on their police cruisers.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's on
oh my gosh.
yeah, there's a Hodag store. The local school's mascot is the Hodags.
They have a festival every year.
There's a Hodag
Yep.
festival.
Oh, yeah.
There's a country music festival that's the Hodag Festival that claims to be one of the biggest country music festivals in Wisconsin.
Wow.
That's a big claim.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's still very popular.
Ah.
And a source of tourism. Like that is why people come to Rhinelander now, is to come see the Hodag, take Hodag tours, buy Hodag merchandise from the Hodag store.
We've talked about it before. That's their little claim.
Yes.
Like,
And going back to Forks in Washington, I told you that they were like the Sasquatch capital, right?
Right.
Now it's Twilight. But also in town is the Pacific Northwest Logging Museum, because Forks used to be the center of like Washington's logging industry on the Olympic Peninsula.
That's really interesting. I wonder if there's more connection between logging and cryptids.
Well, Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods is
Yeah.
a collection of
all lumberwoods.
Yes,
So
Lumberwoods.
that's logging.
Yes, so
Yeah.
the guy who wrote the Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods actually toured around to logging camps in the early 1900s, collecting tall tales from loggers and collecting them all in one place.
That makes me wonder if there's any local tall tales for the Santa Cruz Mountains here, because this was all logged.
Yeah, I'm sure there were. Or
There
people
probably
yeah.
were, but I've not heard of them, and
Yeah.
that'd be interesting to
No one
look
left
into.
alive to ask.
Yeah,
Not from that period.
There most likely were, and maybe they've been lost. Wow.
So one source that I found and was reading an article seems to claim that there is evidence that the town fathers of Rhinelander actually came to Eugene Shepard in the early 1890s and asked him to do something to get them more notoriety. Because
It sounds like a Portlandia episode. We need something to bring in the crowds.
Because
I have
by
an
that
idea.
point, the lumber around there was already getting tapped out. The lumber
Right.
industry, at least in Wisconsin, was drying up, and there was lumber from other places that was coming in. You got the big sequoias in California,
Oh yeah.
Washington State. And so they were already hitting financial difficulties, and they could see the writing on the wall. And they're like, well, we need something. Hey, you're a local guy that tells tall tales. Let's get something spicy going, which might be another reason why they were all totally fine when it was revealed as a hoax, because it was like, well,
We made our nut already.
Yeah. But then that nut didn't bust until like almost 100 years later.
that was the long game.
Yeah.
that was the
They were
that was
edging
the
for like
tantric-
Yeah.
that was decades of edging, and then boy.
And periodically, though, the Hodag would enter into local news stories as a curiosity kind of thing. After Gene Shepard died, for example, they brought up, local legend Gene Shepard, founder of the Hodag, which he kind of became mostly known for, but he's also like one of the fathers of Paul Bunyan.
Which is arguably more famous.
Yeah.
Paul Bunyan, I mean.
he mapped out all these lumber places that actually caused, let lumber industry come in, because he was the one out there scouting and, surveying and saying there's good lumber here, there's bad lumber there, etc. Now, when this topic came up, or was suggested by Rainzacket, when I finally decided that I was going to do this topic, I reached back out to Rainzacket and say, hey, do you have any recollection? Can you share some insight? And they said that they actually live 100 miles or so from Rhinelander.
Where? I don't need to ask you. Let me just look it up. Where is Rhinelander? It is
in the center of the state, northern part of the state, right up in there.
I've been around Wisconsin here and there, but this is further north than I have been.
I might have misspoke.
Yeah, well, it's actually getting up toward the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Yeah, UP. The UP.
Yeah,
the
UP.
The UP. Now, Michigan is a part of this mystery. So let me. Okay. When I was talking to Rainzacket, they did give this opinion. They said, well, the Hodag is something that you can kind of feel somewhat good about, as opposed to, say, Sasquatch or Bigfoot, because it doesn't appear to be based on any local indigenous legend. It is created.
Oh, so it has not been a co-opted thing. Uh-huh.
Spoilers. It is taken. It's
how did that happen?
But first, we got to go dig for some Hodag eggs.
Hodag eggs. That's right. They lay eggs. All right, let's go dig for Hodag eggs.
We at the Least Haunted Podcast stand with those of the LGBTQIA+ community, and especially want to voice our support for the trans community, masculine, feminine, non-binary, and every other of the beautiful assortment of people who are going through so much vitriol and hate in these difficult times.
We welcome you to join our friendly and supportive Discord, and if you want to help support the community or need help yourself, we fully endorse the Trans Lifeline at translifeline.org. We can get through this together.
You are all deserving of life and love. And remember,
the world's more beautiful with you in it.
What was that laugh? I asked myself. I'm trying to recreate that as much as possible. I don't think I've ever laughed like that in my life. That was new. What is that? This is my new laugh for 2024. New Year, new laugh.
We have a spanking new podcast for your ear holes called Doom Generation.
Available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Later, Doomers!
Well, those were sure some eggs, weren't they? I scrambled up a mess of eggs. They're pretty good. They taste kind of like goose eggs.
Vegetarian. Eats eggs.
Yeah, I'm an ovo-lacto-pescatarian. Come on, man.
Oh. I try not to define you too much. It kind of negates you. Case in point, I thought you were a vegetarian, and it negated what you really are. Anyway.
All carnivores mix up eggs and anyway, it doesn't matter.
Ovum.
You know what? I don't want to like categorize myself.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, very Sartrean of you. Or Kierkegaard. Yeah, Sartrean. Okay, anyway.
Sartre?
Sartre.
Welcome back to the Hodag story. Now in progress. So
yes.
You say it might have been an indigenous
yes. Now this is where our players at home, if you have your bingo cards, you weren't expecting this to come up. We're gonna jump all the way back to a much earlier episode. Indigenous shapeshifters.
Oh, yeah.
And chimeras.
All right.
Now, in our Indigenous shapeshifters episode with our friend Josh, he talked about a chimera-like creature of the Great Lakes region called the water panther. Do you remember any of this about water panther?
I remember the name.
Okay.
But refresh me.
So he was working on a project at the time for the Indigenous Peoples Museum in Arizona, where they were going out, finding petroglyphs and scanning them, 3D scanning them, and then 3D printing out replicas of these petroglyphs.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ones they had was of this thing called the water panther, which comes from the Great Lakes region. Water panther actually is a very widespread indigenous belief that is very, very old. Going to, if you've ever heard of Cahokia, the mound builders, the Mississippian mound builders.
Yes, the mound. I've heard of the mounds.
Yeah,
in
that
area.
That culture had wide influence that spread out all the way to as far as New York.
Wow,
and the eastern woods there, around the Great Lakes into Wisconsin, Minnesota, up into Canada as well.
That's amazing that in the Americas that memes or stories spread that far.
Oh yeah, well, don't even get me started on like South America and the.
Well, I know that was a little different, but I'm talking about like North America.
Oh yeah,
my understanding was always that all of those different peoples were pretty. I know they traded, but it's not like they all had a shared cultural identity.
So the Great Lakes
the fact
region,
that this stretched that far is interesting.
Great Lakes region had copper, and it had a form of copper that didn't need to be like refined or smelted. They could actually just what's called cold working it, just hammer it out. Because a lot of people think that indigenous North Americans never had metallurgy or metalworking.
Right.
Not true. I mean, you have in Central America, they're doing stuff with gold, but also in North America, in like what's the United States now, there was copper working, but it wasn't like smelting. It was just working raw copper.
I don't know if you ever managed on your trip to get to the that Native American Museum in Olympic National Park.
I couldn't get up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was not on the
one thing I learned there, the people who lived the people who lived right on the beach there.
Yeah.
They would go whaling, all kinds of stuff. There's a very fascinating culture. I'm forgetting the name of those indigenous people, but there would be like shipwrecks from like Japan that washed up on the shore, and that was their only access to any kind of metal, because there just wasn't naturally occurring metal in that area. And they're just little tiny bits of metal here and there, and they would work that metal, and they used it for a million things. They were incredibly resourceful.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was one thing I've heard of.
But
beyond that, you're saying there was copper metallurgy.
Yeah, but one of the widespread cultural motifs and things that shows up is this creature or being called the water panther. It has many other names in different indigenous languages. I'm not going to butcher them or try to butcher them, so I'm just going to say underwater panther or the great water panther, depicted in petroglyphs. Garth, would you quickly look up water panther petroglyph and tell me what you see?
Water panther petroglyph.
It'll be red because they put like red dye in there to make it stand out more. You'll see the one I'm talking about, I'm sure.
Is it this guy?
Yeah. What's that look like?
Ooh, okay. So we've got a silhouette image of a creature that looks like it has the spines going down its tail. It's got two legs that are visible, but it's implied that there are two more behind it because it's viewed in profile. It's got a long, wide head with like spiked out cheeks and then big old horns. I would say that's got a lot of similarities.
Yes.
There's a lot going on there. It could be parallel thinking, but pretty good.
It's also called the Great Lynx. So what we see as horns might actually be the ears of a lynx.
Oh, like tall, long ears. Sure. Okay, yeah.
I
can see that.
It is said to live underwater in the deepest parts of rivers and lakes and the Great Lakes, Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, around the Oopie.
Yeah,
right?
The Oopie.
Yes. There's lots of legends about it being this force of nature, kind of like when we talked about the Ogopogo as well, being the spirit of the lake.
Mm-hmm. It's the manifestation.
Yes.
One of the manifestations of the lake itself.
It is a chimera-like creature. A lynx, it's said to have...
Made out of more than one animal.
Yes.
A chimera, yeah.
The spikes on its back might actually be related to like a sturgeon. So it might be this combination of a cat and a sturgeon.
Do sturgeons have that many?
No, but this is artistic liberties.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
But we're looking at what could
have possible
inspired
things.
it.
Yes, possible inspiration.
Yeah. Okay.
And it is said that it can summon storms on the lakes. It's this force of nature. One of the mounds in Cahokia, I think it is, or near there, they call the alligator mound because when looked from above, it looks like an alligator shape. And there was this idea that, they were borrowing that from like all the way down from Louisiana and Florida, much more likely. And according to the indigenous people, no, it's not an alligator. That's the water panther as well.
Okay.
So I bring this up because Gene Shepard was scouting around in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan.
Okay, so he might have run into these petroglyphs.
Yes, because they're all over the place, and they're in native art. They're one of the local tribes. The men all would carry a pouch that had the water panther,
and he would have been in communication with.
Yeah, because it's the 1890s.
Yeah.
He started doing this in the 1870s.
There were still indigenous people around.
We were still fighting what was called by historians the Indian Wars.
Right.
This is all still happening.
This is like Custard and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, fucking Tombstone is 1884, dude.
Yeah.
So it's still the Wild
It's
West.
crazy how recent that hole was.
Yes. And as we know, the indigenous people are always there. They didn't, I mean, except in cases where they were forced off their land, but they're around.
Some were
Yes.
completely, but most of them are still there to some degree.
So I saw one or two references that maybe the underwater panther is the inspiration for the Hodag.
I see evidence for that. I'm not conclusive, but that petroglyph definitely makes me wonder.
Now let me bring up, I said earlier that I had a theory about the origin of the name Hodag.
Oh, yeah.
Spoilers, it's racist.
Oh, no, really?
Okay, here we go.
I'm so surprised.
So, the local tribe or nation that is in that part of Wisconsin where a Rhinelander is, in that area, known as Ho-Chunk.
Oh, I've heard of the Ho-Chunk. Yeah, sure.
Everybody else has heard of the Ho-Chunk, probably by a different name that's used for that group. And you probably have seen this name driving down the road. You ever hear of Winnebago?
Oh, yeah. That's a car.
It's a motorhome, right? Winnebago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is the Ho-Chunk. Same people, different name. Follow me here.
What? Okay.
Hobago.
Oh.
Hobag. Hodag.
Sure.
I posit that to the people in the area, the white settlers, they would dismissively talk about anything that could have been indigenous spiritual or a boogeyman or something like that.
Yeah.
As being, it's one of those it's just ho-hum, ho-chunk. It's just ho-chunk stuff. It's Winnebago stuff.
Oh.
And then somebody who's probably more racist would call them, the Hobagos.
Sure, yeah, and you can see it just.
You see the
etymology getting sillier. Yeah.
To the point where, and you brought the idea of were they using the Hodag in the lumber camps to explain natural phenomenon, trees falling down, things like that?
It got into, that description got into a whole lot about the way it gets porcupines.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that sounds like it's evidence for something they
so
saw.
that people in the area or in the logging camps would just use the term Hodag to be almost like the way you would say it's voodoo, it's hoodoo, it's some kind of, I think that's possibly where the name came from. And the fact that, you look at the images of the underwater panther in art and then Gene Shepard's drawing of the Hodag.
It's a pretty big coincidence if it isn't related.
Yeah. All those elements are there. The paints just need to be mixed into some new color.
You have a very compelling case there, my friend.
Yes,
very compelling.
Yeah. So that is my hypothesis. Is that's where Hodag came from. Now, knowing that is a possible origin, how are we supposed to feel about this town that has made this image its whole identity?
Oh, I see. Is it just another one? Is it just another one? Well,
in the same way that
don't
Bigfoot
know.
and Sasquatch could be Bigfoot's an appropriation of the Sasquatch myth.
It's one of those tricky things. Depending on how appropriation works, it can be either seen as kind of cringy or just an evolution of things. And I don't know where you draw the line.
Which can bring me back to Forks.
Yeah.
So, in Forks, they're all about Twilight.
Right.
I mentioned that I stayed across treaty line in werewolf territory.
Right.
Stephanie Meyer, let me get this out of the way. Fuck her.
I don't know who that is.
That's who wrote Twilight.
Oh,
she's a Mormon, never lived in Washington, didn't even visit Washington, but was thinking, where would you find vampires? Well, how about the place that statistically has the least amount of sunny days in the United States? Forks, Washington.
Right.
Coincidentally, the local tribe that is around there, their origin myth is that they came from wolves. There were two wolves who were turned into the first man and wolf because Olympia, the Olympic Peninsula, used to have wolves, but they were exterminated by Europeans.
Oh, okay.
She reads this and thinks, well, that's a werewolf. It's like, that's a completely different, you're taking European shit and Native American shit and trying to, nope, it's a werewolf.
Oh, I
see. So
see.
she appropriated that into her story because everybody knows werewolves and vampires hate each other.
Is that a thing?
Apparently so.
Oh, okay.
So that all gets mixed into this fucking Twilight thing. But while I was there and actually went into the town of La Push that is part of I think it's Umpqua.
The Umpqua.
I don't know if that's right. Let me just, I don't want to.
Umpqua, that's a popular bank.
Yes, it is. I just want to get the tribe name right.
Oh, I see.
Allison has been all about them. She's so into it. Quillette. Sorry, not Umpqua. Let me scratch that. Okay. So the town of La Push, which is the center of the Quillette tribe, their reservation.
Oh,
and when
okay.
I was visiting and on there, you start seeing a lot of signs that say this is werewolf territory or Team Jacob everywhere, because a large part of the community, realizing that this is bringing in tourism, they're owning it now. They're taking it back.
Okay.
Which is actually, I liked. I'm like, yeah, take that back. Fuck that Stephanie Meyer bitch.
Wait, so I'm confused by this whole thing. So now they're leaning into the werewolf thing.
Yeah, they're owning it and taking it back. Like, why should we let this, like...
But I thought that it wasn't werewolves to be... So it seemed like Stephanie misunderstood the wolf story and decided that was werewolves.
Yes.
So the people who are actually living there now are like, fine, werewolves. So they're just being like, sure, why not?
Yes, because it's bringing in tourists who are coming in
that's
to visit
cool.
and bringing money in.
Yeah.
Same thing with... before that in Forks, it was all about Sasquatch, which again is a local indigenous thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We did a whole episode about it, Garth.
That it was.
You were here for that.
Oh, okay.
It's why we talked about how it's kind of questionable and problematic to talk about Sasquatch, but not so much about Bigfoot, because they're kind of two different guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
You can cut that part.
So,
I remember that.
The store
Cody got really mad at me right there.
The store in Forks that is the official Sasquatch store is indigenous owned. It's an indigenous artist who I met him. He claims to be the world's expert on Sasquatch. He bragged that he has been on like several episodes of Monster Quest. I said nothing because it is not my place to go into this guy's house as a white dude and skeptic and tell him, nah, you're not right.
I would. I mean, I don't think you're going to make any friends doing that. It still would have been interesting to have him on the podcast.
Yeah. And he even said, I've been on hundreds of podcasts. So
shoot. Okay. Well, that's an opportunity.
So it's a very similar story. Like, why didn't the Hodag become as big as Bigfoot? And it kind of is. I mean, it was featured in an episode of Scooby-Doo. And even speaking of,
I don't think the Hodag's as big as Bigfoot.
Speaking of problematic white authors who steal other people's culture, J.K. Rowling. Fuck her too. But she included the Hodag in an updated version of her book.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Yeah, I don't remember there being a Hodag in the original, but I haven't
put Hodag
read that in
the
15
updated
years.
version of the book, and I want to say that in her stupid American wizarding school, one of the houses is Hodag, which is also just like all the houses are named after like indigenous things there. Fuck that lady. She's trash. So the question though, I keep dancing around is, how are we supposed to feel about the Hodag in Rhinelander? And I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, because also that I don't think that anybody there was aware.
Well, and the whole issue with cultural appropriation, which in my opinion, it's an easy thing to target and be like, hey, that's appropriation. And I think that the concept can often be, with good intent, overused. And I don't know, like, there's a lot of instances that somebody might call it appropriation, and I'd be like, well, that's just somebody. The idea is evolving, and unless you're somebody is a victim or being taken advantage of or having their culture like really misrepresented.
So that
I don't
so which
know,
we talked. Remember we talked about with Josh about the Wendigo.
Yeah,
being wholly misappropriated and taken by.
Sure. That's one instance.
And also Skinwalker. Remember, he said, I can't talk about that.
Right. This is not that.
Yeah. And
this feels different.
It feels different in a way that,
this is more like somebody heard a story and then it became this other thing. It really doesn't feel like cultural appropriation to me.
I mean, the name, as I said, though, the name might be racist.
Maybe.
I think I found some pretty good evidence for that, or at least make a good case. But the people in Rhinelander, I don't think that there is any idea to them that this could be.
And also, how about the indigenous peoples now? Do they feel offended by this?
Yes, exactly.
That would be a big question. I would say.
Yeah. And
if there's a lot of pushback from them, then we might rethink this.
Yes,
but
yes. So if you are somebody,
I would say
First
they get
Nations
to
person,
make that call, right?
Yeah. So if you're a First Nations person from the area where the Hodag is, and you want to let us know, like, no, that's fucked up, reach out to us, let us know.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear.
Yeah. But it is one of those things where you're like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that.
It is one of those things. I don't know. Take it as it is. I don't feel necessary. I'm not gonna err on the side of being like, oh well, that's another racist thing or that's another cultural appropriation. Unless there's evidence that it is the case, I'd rather default to assuming the best of intent.
I think that. I mean, personally, I think Gene Shepard 100%. Took the images and
it seems possible, yeah, totally
from it. But the people in Rhinelander today, it's completely different to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different. I mean, to them, the origin is that this guy made it up,
right,
and that's what they've been going off of this whole time.
Yeah. And as we've seen, everything is a remix.
Yeah, And I mean, inspiration is different than theft.
Yeah. You can take a thing and do your version of it. It's not necessarily theft. I mean.
Yeah.
Does it take away from the original? I don't think so. I don't know.
Well, in that case, I think it's time for us to kind of move on before we keep digging this hole.
Well, we're kind of going in circles here, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the Hodag. I went to the Hodag online store, the official Hodag store.
There's an official online store.
And they had all kinds of merchandise. You can get Hodag hunting permits and licenses, T-shirts, plushies, stickers, pencils, pencil cases. There's a hot sauce, which I was going to get for us to try, but its base is cilantro, and that's poison to me.
Cilantro for Cody.
But I might get it so that Hoppy Trails can taste it.
I'd be interested.
There was a Hodag drink. There's a few different breweries that make Hodag beers.
It sounds better than alien water.
Yeah. So there's a lot that, they're doing with it.
Yeah.
Hodag Hodogs, for... The Hodag store also sells plushies of white bulldogs because, that's the food. They also have the mystery box. Now, normally
we know what Cody thinks of J.J. Abrams' storytelling.
But the thing is that I'm going to fucking open this mystery box because I ordered it and it's coming to us. And we're going to do a video. It'll be a patron exclusive at first, and then after a while we'll release it to YouTube.
Oh, what's in the box, Cody? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Oh boy, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
So we'll see what's in the Hodag mystery box when it comes. It was supposed to show up on the 8th, and today's the 12th. But anyway, so look forward to that.
Should we do a quick Garth's Corner?
Garth's Corner.
All right, so this is a special Garth's Corner because we have a new patron.
Woo! New patron!
New patrons.
We have 2 new patrons, but this is a new Monster Squadron.
We have 2 new patrons. Shout out to this cow's upper shoulder roast. / Chuck.
Yes, also known as Chuck.
But don't worry, I got both names in the Garth's Corner song.
Cool.
Oh, Chuck and his upper shoulder roast takes a bite out of your Jesus toast. A sacrament for your sarcastic host will offset the scale on our logo's ghosts. It's a lamb, no it's a sheep, but it can trot, I know it's our town's mascot. So, Chuck is here to save the night and the moon is new so the stars can brighten. Oh, he's out of sight, but I see him now, it's Chuck and his upper shoulder cow. Oh, Chuck and his upper shoulder roast. They'll both disabuse you of your notion of a friendly ghost who elects mattresses first past the post. But the plurality, Chuck, the plurality makes it so clear. Our town's mascot wins. and it's so severe here in this car's core and near. So, welcome to Garth's Corner. This is all about towns with mascots and then other types of mascot-y things. So, I've got a list here of some American towns with mascots, and then we're going to go to Japan.
Mhm.
So, most famously, I think, would be Punxsutawney Phil.
Yes.
We've talked about him, Groundhog. That's the quintessential town mascot. Let's see a few others I found. In Anacortes, Washington, there's the Oyster. They have a whole oyster run. It's a motorcycle rally and an oyster festival.
I was just in Anacortes.
Were there oyster-themed things?
I think I did see some oyster. There might have been a big oyster statue. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a similar thing here. There's always a statue and there's always a festival.
Yes.
And then other things that are related to it. Bald Head Island in North Carolina has the sea turtle, and that's like the theme of the whole town is the sea turtle. And they have an annual turtle trot, and it's all about turtle conservation and environmentalism in general. So it's a cool thing. Rayne, Indiana is the frog capital of the world, apparently. They have a big statue of a frog in front. They've got parades, games, and a frog leg eating contest.
All I can see are millions of frogs on tiny crutches.
There's a bunch of other ones. I was kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Petaluma has a butter and egg day parade.
Petaluma was for a while was the egg capital of the world.
Yeah, so and they have egg themed things, and all of this is nice and everything, but it didn't take long when I was doing my research to fall to Japan, and everything we do in the States just pales in comparison to Japan. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to touch on a few of the funnier mascots that Japan has. Now, in Japan, the mascots are called Kira, which now Kira is a variation of the English word character, and then Yuru means loose, wobbly, casual, or floppy. Now, all of the translations I'm going to give you have many English words to each Japanese word because it's hard to translate Japanese concepts.
And with in Japanese, depending on which writing system they're using, if they're using katakana or kanji, the shape of the characters themselves have different meanings.
Anyway, Japan has dozens of prefectures, which would be equivalent to like states or counties in the United States, and they all have their own Yuru Kira. Sports teams have them, food brands have them, national institutions, social awareness initiatives, government departments. Prisons have Yurukira.
Yeah.
And all of these guys are
anthropomorphic personifications of
and these are
ideas.
like what you would expect for any kind of a sports team here in the United States, where it's like a giant plush costume that a person's inside with a huge head. And of course, it's Japan, so they're adorably cute. All of them. Oh, there's Luna. Say hi, Luna.
Speaking of adorably cute.
Oh, there's Luna.
Hi.
We're almost done with the podcast, Luna. Oh, how's it going, Petty Kitty? Gotta pet my kitty. Okay, so let's see. There's Wakobi. It's a women's prison. has their own little mascot. Shinju Kawe is a soap bubble that raises
Sparkle.
that raises awareness for washing hands. Kumamon is a lovable bear who helped promote the bullet train in expansion in 2010, and he's one of the most popular characters. And all of these are used for selling all kinds of products too. Yeah. So like you see them as little cartoon characters on any kind of thing you might buy. They all have these little guys. Well, here's an interesting one. Marimo Kori is an algae. This is for one of the upper prefectures. Mm-hmm. It's algae, and then kori means bulge or erection. So it's this green anthropomorphic algae with a heart on. Yeah. There's Nyango Star, the spirit of a dead cat who now inhabits an apple, and it's an excellent drummer. There's video online of this big plushy guy.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Have you seen this?
Yeah,
it's all red with little cat ears.
Yeah.
And a lot of these are like based on puns. So somebody's come up with all of these. So it's like the Japanese name for an apple is actually Ringo. And so they're like, oh, Ringo Starr. So we'll go Nyango Star. And then that was a version of the cat. Yeah. So it's really just a pun combination. So what do all these have in common? They are... Luna, get out of here.
Unless you can play the drums, cat.
Can you play the drums? Do you want to be reincarnated in an apple and play the drums for me, Luna? What they have in common is a concept called kawaii, which translates to cute, but could also mean vulnerable or innocent.
Real quick, coincide out. Listeners, can you tell that Garth has never watched a lot of anime?
Yeah, I don't know any of this shit. I'm just learning about Japanese culture here. There's an annual Yurikara Grand Prix, which is a mascot competition. They have sumo wrestling and all kinds of things. And all the mascots have to follow these criteria. They must convey a love of their hometown. They have to have movements and behavior that are unique, unstable, and awkward. And they should be yurui, which means laid back and unsophisticated and lovable. So yeah, it's I got a lot of this information from Why Japan Has a Mascot for Everything by Double Yoke on YouTube and a few other sources. But I can describe these to you, but just go online if you want to see some of these designs and characters. They're hilarious.
And when you first mentioned that you were going to make the jump to Japan and like they have mascots for everything, I'm like, well, yeah, they have like spirits for everything too.
Yeah, well,
I think this is part of that Shinto animism.
One of the things I was looking into suggested that they were talking about. Well, as you actually saw in the movie Spirited Away, where there's a lot of those creatures. There's some ones that you would also see in as these mascots. There's also been like a long history in Japan of animals being depicted as doing human-like things. Like there's 1,000-year-old drawings of like frogs.
Boko Neko. We talked about that in our four-footed floaters
so
episode.
all of these things all merge together, and this is the current
iteration,
the current iteration of this thing that's been around in Japan for hundreds of years. Thousands of years.
Yeah. So in that case, the Hodag is just the latest incarnation of this very, very old idea.
Yeah. So that's been Garth's Corner. Anyway.
Cool.
Mascots. We need one.
Mascotas.
I guess ours is Razzie, really.
Hello.
Well, we have the ghosts.
Hello.
Yeah, sure.
They're tattooed on my arms. Allison got matching tattoos. It's on, people. It's on. The Least Haunted tattoos have started.
Do people know about the tattoos yet?
Mine?
Yeah.
If you're on the Discord, it's hard to hide. I mean,
okay.
I was keeping it.
You were hiding them for years.
Yeah, because there's a project that was about me getting them that just is kind of in development hell. But it'll happen eventually.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I got tired of wearing long sleeves. It's summer. It's hot. And so people know.
What do we name those ghosts again?
L and H.
L and H,
which is either for least
for
or haunted or low and high. But that
was it.
Creates a problem because the least of the haunted happens to be the highest on the scale because they're least haunted.
Well, it's the haunted scale.
Yes.
So the one that's floating higher is less haunted. That works.
Yeah, but then he can't be H for higher because he's the least of the haunted. It depends. Is the L stand for least or does it stand?
Let's keep it ambiguous. I think that's the way to go with that one.
Okay.
Which one's L and which one's H? It can be a running thing.
You've launched a bunch of discussions in the episode discussion tab. I'm sure. Okay. Well, yeah. So that was Hodag and mascots.
That was a Hodag of a story, Cody. Thanks, man. Very enjoyable. It was good to see Lucky again, too.
Oh, yeah. I had to he's somewhere deep down in the recesses of my brain.
Hey, Lucky! How you doing down there?
I ain't found shit!
I told him to comb the creek. Anyway, do you want to do the Monster Squadrons?
Yes. We could have Lucky do it.
Hey, Lucky! Hey, Lucky, come back up here for a second. We have one more thing for you.
I gotta find out where I put in our newest Monster Squaddy person because of their name.
Oh, you could just do them out of order for the first one. You got to do them in alphabetical order, huh?
Yeah, that's the thing.
All right, Lucky.
Garth, you lied to me. There was no gold down in that stream, and painting that fence weren't nowhere near as fun as you said it would be. Was that Monster Squadron?
You know what's going to be really fun, Lucky, is reading off the Monster Squadron. I swear, you're going to have so much fun, man. Just give it a shot.
The Monster Squadron patron producers are a cow's upper shoulder roast, a.k.a. Chuck. Travis Alexander, The Barbarian, Rachel Krieger, Tom Dahl, Justin Duckham, Kelly Flynn, Gunnar Franks, Carla Harrington, Havelock, Christina Hurley, New Jared, Ken with 2 N's or Monacan with 3. TJ Levenhagen, Alicia Overton, Jordan Ramey, a different one, but still the same one, Blue Roan, Seti Fan, and Tatum.
All right. Well, thank you. Was that as fun as I made it out to be, Lucky?
I think I'm going to go back to paint that fence now.
All right. Well, hope you all enjoyed the episode. And did we want to open up a letter? We have a letter there.
Do we have time? We got 10 minutes.
Got 10 minutes.
Okay. We got a letter.
One more thing, everybody, before we go.
Oh, we do have a letter opener now, and I just forgot to bring it. It's made out of bone, Garth. A deer's leg bone. That's a cool.
Do you want to use this? Oh, you've got it.
I used my fingers.
Your fingers are made of bones, Cody. You got bones in them fingers.
So this comes from, it comes from Ken with 2 N's. Monacan. We got a couple of stickers. Oh, nice.
Ooh, I want to see.
Here you go.
Literally me right now, and there's a wizard on a computer.
Says,
everyone is so annoying.
It's the Mothman.
The Mothman on his phone.
Cody and Garth, here are some stickers I saw that made me think of you both. I hope you enjoy them. Ken. And
Thanks,
then
Ken.
The stationery says sparkle wherever you go.
Right on.
This come from Forks.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, wait a minute.
Remember, people, if you're going to sparkle, please don't goose step as well.
That's
Forks.
Right. You can do one or the other. You can't do both. All right. Well, hey, thank you, Ken.
You shouldn't do one of them at all, actually. You know which one.
Goose stepping, sparkling morons such as yourself should try reading books instead of burning them. All right, guys.
All right. So until next time, remember, the only thing that's haunted
is you.
Oh, these funny things I do. Oh, these funny things I do. But the joke is only funny if it breaks your heart in two. Yeah, the joke is only funny if the whole world is laughing at you.
Say goodbye.
In the Rhinelander area, you'll find the perfect blend of pristine wilderness and big city amenities, and you might even find a hodag.
We got back to camp late after a long day fishing Lake George. We decided to clean the fish in the morning, so we hung a stringer on the dock. The next morning, when I went to get the fish, something had eaten them. Even the heads were gone. I think it was a hodag.
The Rhinelander area is hodag country. For more hodag sightings, visit hodagsightings.com.
The Least Haunted podcast is recorded before a dead studio audience and is a presentation of Sequoidea Productions, LLC.